Middle East is once again on edge tonight after a dramatic escalation that has sent shockwaves across the region. The United Arab Emirates has issued a blistering and unusually direct response following what it describes as an Iranian-linked attack, calling it a direct threat to regional stability. This strong language signals more than just diplomatic tension. It suggests a moment that could redefine alliances, security strategies, and the fragile balance of power in the Gulf. In the latest developments, officials in the UAE reacted sharply after reports emerged of an Iranian-backed operation targeting strategic interests in the region. While the exact details of the attack are still being clarified, early intelligence assessments indicate that the incident involved either direct or proxy involvement tied to Iran. The UAE did not hold back in its response, condemning the act as a serious escalation and warning that such actions cross a red line. Government statements emphasize that the UAE views this not as an isolated incident, but as part of a broader pattern of destabilizing behavior. Officials stress that any threat to its sovereignty, infrastructure, or regional allies would be met with decisive measures. This marks a significant shift in tone, as the UAE has often balanced firm security policies with diplomatic engagement in recent years. Sources close to regional security agencies suggest that the attack may have targeted critical infrastructure or maritime routes areas that are vital not only for the UAE but for global trade. The Gulf region serves as a key artery for energy exports, and any disruption has immediate international implications. Even the perception of instability can cause ripple effects in oil markets, shipping costs, and investor confidence. The UAE's response also included calls for international cooperation, urging global powers to take a unified stance against actions that threaten regional peace. This indicates that the Emirates is not only addressing Iran directly, but also sending a message to the wider international community. The stakes are too high for silence or inaction. To understand why this moment is so significant, it's important to look at the broader context. Tensions between Gulf states and Iran have been simmering for decades, rooted in geopolitical rivalry, ideological differences, and competing visions for regional influence. The UAE, along with other Gulf Cooperation Council members, has long expressed concern over Iran's support for proxy groups and its involvement in conflicts across the Middle East. In recent years, however, there had been signs of cautious de-escalation. Diplomatic channels were reopened, economic ties were tentatively explored, and there was a general sense that both sides were seeking to avoid direct confrontation. This made the latest incident particularly surprising and concerning. What makes this situation even more complex is the network of alliances and rivalries that define the region. The UAE maintains close ties with Western powers, including the United States, and has also strengthened its relationships with countries like Israel in recent years. These partnerships are partly aimed at countering shared security concerns, particularly those related to Iran. At the same time, Iran sees itself as a major regional power with legitimate interests and influence. It has consistently rejected accusations of destabilizing behavior, often framing its actions as defensive or as support for allied groups. This clash of narratives adds another layer of difficulty to any attempt at resolution. The term direct threat, used by the UAE in its response, is particularly noteworthy. In diplomatic language, such phrasing is rarely used lightly. It suggests that the UAE perceives the incident not just as a policy disagreement or a proxy conflict, but as something that directly endangers its national security. This raises the possibility of stronger countermeasures, whether diplomatic, economic, or even military. From an analytical perspective, this development could mark a turning point. If the situation escalates further, it could lead to increased military readiness across the Gulf. Countries in the region may boost their defense capabilities, enhance surveillance, and tighten security around critical infrastructure. This, in turn, could heighten tensions and increase the risk of miscalculation. Another important factor is the role of global powers. The United States, in particular, has long been a key security partner for the UAE and other Gulf states. Any significant escalation is likely to draw attention and possibly involvement from Washington. Similarly, other major players like China and Russia, which have growing interests in the region, may also weigh in diplomatically. Economically, the implications are immediate. Oil prices often react quickly to geopolitical tensions in the Gulf. Even a perceived threat to supply routes can lead to price spikes affecting global markets. For countries heavily dependent on energy imports, this can translate into higher costs and economic uncertainty. Shipping lanes, especially those passing through the Strait of Hormuz, are another critical concern. This narrow waterway handles a significant portion of the world's oil shipments. Any disruption, whether actual or threatened, can have far-reaching consequences. The UAE's strong response may partly be aimed at ensuring that these routes remain secure and that confidence in their safety is maintained. There is also a domestic dimension to consider. Governments in the region must balance external security challenges with internal stability. Public perception, national morale, and economic resilience all play a role in how such situations are managed. By issuing a firm and clear response, the UAE leadership may be aiming to reassure its population and demonstrate control over the situation. At the same time, there is always the risk of escalation spiraling beyond control. History has shown that even limited incidents can lead to broader conflicts if not carefully managed. This is why diplomatic channels, even in times of tension, remain crucial. Back-channel communications, mediation efforts, and international pressure can all help prevent a situation from deteriorating further. Looking ahead, several scenarios are possible. One is a period of heightened tension followed by diplomatic engagement, as both sides seek to avoid a full-scale confrontation. Another is a gradual escalation, with additional incidents leading to stronger responses and potentially drawing in other countries. The most concerning scenario, of course, is a direct conflict, but this remains the least desirable outcome for all parties involved. For viewers and observers around the world, the situation serves as a reminder of how interconnected global security has become. Events in one region can have immediate and significant impacts far beyond their borders. Whether it's energy prices, trade routes, or international relations, the ripple effects are felt globally. In conclusion, the UAE's blistering response to what it calls an Iranian-linked attack marks a critical moment in Middle Eastern geopolitics. By labeling the incident a direct threat, the Emirates has signaled a serious escalation in tone and potentially in action. While the full details are still emerging, the implications are clear, tensions are rising, and the need for careful, measured responses has never been greater. As the situation continues to develop, staying informed is essential. These events are not just headlines, they are shaping the future of regional and global stability. Make sure to follow reliable updates, understand the context, and keep an eye on how this story unfolds in the days ahead.